How did your agency background help you in a client-side role? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Hash It Out. We have Rabih here with us. Hi Rabih.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. All good.
So you're in a client-side role now. You have agency background. You've been in marketing for a long time. So if you can tell us a bit about what you do now and your background.
So right now I've landed a job recently. I'm still new with Stars Play. So I'm the social media manager of entertainment as my main role. I do a little bit of employee engagement activities here and there, so you can see me jumping around the office, going around. I do a little bit of assistance to other team members as well here and there. I'm usually the happy pill at the office, and this is what I got this labeled for. I try to find the positive in everything that I do. We have our creative team, just like any other client side. We have our creative team. I do a little bit of briefings. I do assist in copies, copywriting, everything. So it's all a collaborative effort, at the company, at Stars Play. It's all a collaborative effort to give out the result on whether on social media or performance or whatever, everywhere.
So anything digital, it's you. It's not just social. Beyond social, digital aspects.
Yeah, all of us, it's like we're integrated. Like all of us, we're integrated in doing all of the tasks, try as much as possible to bring out the best output there is.
Okay. And how did your agency background help you in a client-side role?
First of all, it helped me to learn how the agency dynamics works. So whenever being the agency for almost 8 years, it really helped me in trying to understand their point of view and their perspective. So when I moved on the client side, when you're on the agency side, you don't see this. You don't see what happens at the client side. You just see hey, I need an approval. Hey, what the hell is going on? Hey, I need an answer. But there's actually a lot of dynamics internally that happens on the client side. I've worked on the client side also in Lebanon. And I was surprised to see, as an agency, we put a lot of pressure on the client to get our tasks done, which are their tasks at the same time. But there's a lot of dynamics that has to go. There's a chain of approvals, there's a chain of opinions, there's a lot of back and forth that happens internally, and this back and forth is what actually brings out the end result, which is the perfect piece of content or the perfect piece of communication that we're trying to do on the social media platforms.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Looking at anything from one side, it's not going to give you the full picture. So
exactly.
It's great to have both views. Yeah. So for the first question, which social platform do you prioritize and why? Is it based on the demographics on the platform? Is it based on the engagement or some other reason?
So mainly just like any other brand right here. We all know that Instagram right now is the top platform for mainly most of the communication that happens around. So of course we prioritize Instagram. We try as much as possible to take the platform and its requirements into consideration when we're developing the content or when we're doing our communication strategy. Sometimes we have content or communication that is very specific, for example, let's say to the GCC. So, and we know that Snapchat in the GCC is one of the top performing platform or top used platform around in the region. So sometimes we take this into consideration. So we take our target audience into consideration and where are we trying to reach them. And of course, we do have our dynamic, our metrics, we do have our demographics, we have everything. We have all of the social media tools that are needed. We have a mini internal agency. So we have all of these access to all of these tools, and we can see, depending on the communication that we're doing, we prioritize the social media platform. But mainly it's Instagram, and also our audience on Stars Play is mainly active on Facebook as well. So You need to give them something. However, each platform has its own tailored content. So I can't go post on TikTok the same content that I'm posting on Instagram. No, I have to like play around the content. It can be the same idea, it can be the same thing, but I need to play around it a little bit just so that I can target it to the platform itself and to reach other people in the best effective and efficient way possible.
So you're actually touching on the next question, which is how do you tailor your content to different platforms? So you mentioned you play around with it a bit. Can you build on that a bit more?
Yeah, so it can be the same piece of content, but we can tailor it in the different specs. That's one. Two, let's say, for example, I'm doing on TikTok. I can take the same idea as it is, and I can just hop on a trend that is similar to it. I can find that the most trendy, it can be a CapCut video. It can be as simple as that. It can be a CapCut video, and I can just play around it, manipulate it a little bit here and there, put the sound on it, and that's it. And I can reach more people with it.
So you're basically saying how you tweak the content depends on the platform.
Exactly.
Some platforms just need this resizing, some platforms need different things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to manipulate the caption and that's it.
Okay, okay.
Because some people on some platforms, they might read more than another platform. And it's all about, you know better, it's all about testing. So you need to test which piece of content works versus which piece of, I don't know, like if we do some sort of A/B testing, maybe the visual needs a little bit of refinement. So, yeah.
And as someone who's been in marketing for a long time, do you see engagement like peak during certain seasons or drop in other seasons? Also, for Stars Play, do you see that?
Yes. So we do have like two separate main ports or like two separate, I don't know, platform. I'm not gonna say platforms. It's like two separate dynamics when it comes down to Stars Play. So we have our Stars Play, which is the entertainment part, which is the movies, the series, everything that has to do with like entertainment. And we do have the sports. So let's go on to sports for now. On sports, whenever we have like a championship that is happening, Liga, Serie A, UFC, anything that has to do with these events, the seasonal events, and especially if they are happening in the UAE, then yes, we do see a high spike and we hijack this. We take advantage of it. So if we know that this event is coming up and we are live streaming it on our platforms, definitely we go in and hijack it. A little competitor of ours had some streaming issues in the last UFC event. Well, we didn't have any. Oh well.
Okay. we all know which competitor you're talking about.
Oops.
We're not gonna tag them. So for the next question, if you had to make like if you had to give someone like a piece of advice, one small adjustment that makes a big difference, or you can see like visible difference when it comes to organic content, like if you had to choose one thing, what would it be?
Manipulating the visual. As simple as that, or the creative.
In terms of what? What do you mean by manipulating the visual?
I took this picture, let's say I'm in the studio right now and there's like the whole staff right here and they're looking at us and they're like waiting for the answer. I don't know why.
So how would you manipulate it?
Let's say this podcast, okay? So the picture can be the hashtag, right? And this hashtag that is behind us. This can go on Instagram. Hi, hey, we're doing, or LinkedIn. Like, hey, you know, like a calm, professional man. However, if I'm gonna take it on TikTok, they would take the part that I just said.
Okay, and the bloopers and the parts we're cutting out of this.
Exactly.
Okay.
And plus, they can need to, you need to make it too fast. Do you have any relatives that are very young? Gen Alpha?
Not. Yeah, I do. I need it, yeah.
So, just give them TikTok. Just watch how they scroll. This is how they scroll. If you think that the 3-second video views, this metric, that the whole social media tools give us, is something that we need to look at, we're wrong. In my opinion, we're wrong.
How many seconds?
One.
One.
You have 1 second to capture that. 1.5.
So it's basically the first frame, the first scene.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's either you catch them or you don't. And these are our new target audience. Right now, all of them, the millennials, everybody, we already have these people. But right now, there's a spike right now in newborns, and we can see that right now. Everybody is getting married and having babies and we're stuck in the office. And you're stuck with your calendar.
Yeah. But
So there's a new spike that is coming. So we have a lot, the baby boomers back then, it's happening again right now. So we need to see how we can target these people. Either we target their parents, for example, to get something for them, or we need to target them because, of course, in a, what do you say? In a respectful way or in a decent way. So we need to try to find a way so that we can attract these people as much as possible.
Okay, makes sense. And do you feel like they trust influencers more or less, the younger audience? And based on that, how is influencers like marketing part of your strategy?
Depends on the influencer. So one influencer can establish credibility just by being there for the people. So they can establish credibility, and actually not just the younger generation, like everybody can actually follow them, and they can actually go towards them and trust their opinion. And there are influencers right now, and we've seen them before, that even agencies and even brands, they're backing away from them because they've become too commercial. All they care about is, hey, let me collaborate with this brand just so that I can make money out of it. It's his living or her living. So what are people doing right now? Oh, they're seeing the content. It's the first video is a collaborative with a brand. Second video is a collab with a brand. Third video is a collab with a brand. Fourth video, okay, he's gonna lose his audience.
So you think it's not about the generation? It's more about the person.
It's about
himself.
the influencer himself. Why the hell would you keep on doing the same thing over and over again? People get bored. We get bored. We don't have time. We live, and also this where we live is very fast paced. If we're talking about the region right here, it's very fast paced. So we need to give them something that is worthy of their time. They have a lot of things to do.
I get your point. Definitely, it's something. One thing that people forget is social media is a reflection of what's outside. If something wouldn't grab your attention outside, it's probably not going to grab your attention on social media as well. Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned that you're involved in the paid side of things as well. So how do you decide if a campaign was effective or not?
This goes back to our paid, we have our own performance team. So I mentioned that we have our own mini agency. So it goes back to our performance team. So they're the ones, so from my perspective, I'm handling organic content. Their role to actually advise me, like, hey, okay, let's say, for example, you chose, I don't know, engagement as an objective. Okay, you chose engagement as an objective. However, this piece of content, let's just do lead generation on it because 1, 2, and 3, look at your content. So another set of eyes, which is effective because they have the metrics, they have all of the numbers, everything. They can advise me or they can guide me, just like an agency would do. They can guide me on the best practice to actually to make the best out of it.
So you're saying, based on the campaign objective, you focus on different metrics. Okay, so that was the final question. Thanks for coming, Rabih. It was a pleasure, and thank you guys for watching.